Hello, everyone. Thanks for taking some time out of your Saturday morning and for joining us here at this time. And welcome to this educational presentation of how to pinpoint your exit levels with range extensions. Now, I'm excited about today's presentation because we're going to be showing and teaching you how to use a new feature we have on our platform, which will automatically generate these range extension exit levels for you. For example, if we look at this chart here in PG, all right, we see here that a buy signal was generated here at the end of July, and automatically you would have known to exit at this level prior to even reaching that space, and you could have seen here that you could have had a nice little profit, and how it many times will signal the end of some type of trend run. And this is all going to be done exclusively on our new platform, the PTS Primo Charting platform. This is the educational portal that teaches you how to trade. Everything is one click away. We make it so simple for you where you don't have to come up with these formulas and these different convoluted logical places on where to exit or enter. Everything is one click away and you'll understand exactly why you're doing it. So welcome once again. My name is Steven Primo, President and Founder of Specialist Trading. 9 years ago, I teamed up with Pro Trader Strategies with one goal in mind, and that was simply to teach and educate students around the world. In fact, now we have students in virtually over 110 countries and in every state in the United States, where we teach them the tips, techniques, strategies, methods that I've accumulated in my 41 years of trading. I started my career on the floor of the Pacific Stock Exchange some 41 years ago. I was on the floor for 16 years, and 9 of those years I was a specialist. That's where we get the name Specialist Trading. If you're not familiar with what a specialist does, it's someone who makes a market roughly in about 50 or 60 stocks. So in the old days, let's say you wanted to buy IBM, one of the stocks I used to make a market in. You would contact your broker, say at E.F. Hutton or somewhere, and say, I'd like to buy 100 shares of IBM. Well, he would in turn contact the floor broker on the trading floor, and the floor broker would get the order to buy 100 shares of IBM. He then would walk up to the person who made markets or who specialized in that. And that's what I did, and along with about 200 other specialists. And they made markets roughly in about 50 or 60 stocks. So if you wanted to buy or sell, you had to go up to the trader who specialized in making a market. Now, I did that during the crash of 1987 and the bull market that followed. So I've experienced just about every environment you can think of, trading up-down markets, sideways markets, crazy markets, flat markets, boring markets. I've also, in my 41 years, traded just about every technique, system, method, strategy you can think of. So if you spent $10,000 or $20,000 on tools and different things in which to trade, and which will be the holy grail for you, trust me, I've already traded them. I know if they work, and I know if they don't, excuse me. So I know what has a certain level of consistency, and I know what doesn't. So I can shorten your learning curve for you. All you have to do is come to Specialist Trading, especially in these webinars. We always give you something free in which to trade with so that you can elevate your trading and to see that we're in good faith really trying to educate you. And that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to show you a great way to pinpoint your exit levels. But before we begin, as always, we are required by law to show you this first. So please take a moment to view our disclaimer. I'm going to show you a lot of performance results using this particular tool, but please remember that we can in no way guarantee that any of the results I'm about to share with you will be repeated. And also please remember that all examples are strictly for educational purposes only. So as you're taking a brief moment to view our disclaimer, I would also like to take this time to invite each and every one of you, if you haven't done so already, to follow us on Twitter. Excuse me. Every day I post different information, things from little bits of financial wisdom I've accumulated along the way to actual signals that our strategies have generated. So if you copy that on our handle right there, abbreviation for Specialist Trading, you can go and see right now some of the things we've posted as of the last couple of days and things that could have helped your trading. Okay, so as I stated in the opening statements, we are a little bit different from other webinars you may have attended. If you're new to my webinars, you'll see that we are all about educating you. We are first and foremost an educational company. That's our only goal. Our goal is not to do what a lot of other presenters do and promise you a technique or method that never loses or has been back tested 30 years and only has lost twice in those 30 years. We don't believe in that. I've taught and traded systems and other methods, and as I said earlier, I know what works and I know what doesn't. And the only thing that will sustain you is sound fundamental education, not some fly-by-night system that works great 1 year, and then the minute you start trading it, it just blows up and doesn't work anymore, right? I'm sure we've all experienced that before. So the thing that will sustain you is the same thing that has sustained me for 41 years, and that's education. The same thing my mentors taught me when I was struggling 41 years ago. So as you can see, my goal is not to force feed you signals. My goal is not to tell you what the perfect market is. My goal is not to tell you what the perfect time frame is. My goal is simply to teach you how to trade, and that's to trade with a specialist edge. It's the same edge that was taught to me and that has sustained me for 4 decades now. Hopefully, it will be able to do the same for you. Now, this is going to be conducted like a classroom since we are an educational company, but like a classroom, I want to take all your questions. We have a good crowd here today for a Saturday morning, and if I stop at every slide, we'll be here for a good 2 or 3 hours. I don't want to do that. I don't want to take your entire morning. So if you happen to have a question, please wait till the very end. I'll reserve the last 10 or 15 minutes just for questions. And it shouldn't be a long presentation, only about 20 or 30 minutes, and then we'll reserve the end for any questions you may have, okay? So the only question I will answer is the most common, and that is this being recorded? Yes, it is. We record all of our webinars, so if you have to leave early or if you're having technical difficulties many times, if you log off and then log back on again, the problem will be resolved. It's many times it's just your internet connection. But if you still can't see or hear everything clearly, don't worry, we will send everyone a link to this presentation. Okay? So if you joined us late, once again, please wait till the end of class to ask any questions. All right. Having said that, let's begin. All right, we're going to be talking about range extension levels today. But for those of you who aren't familiar with what a range extension is or how to apply it, let me give you a brief refresher course, okay? This is the standard definition of what range extensions are. What you want to do is you want to measure the range of the setup bar. Now, a lot of people have difficulty in determining or even knowing what a setup bar is. It doesn't matter what strategy or system you're trading or method. It makes no difference. It could be one of mine, one of yours, another educator's. But when all the rules come into play, when all the requirements are met, they're met at the close of a certain bar, okay? That's your setup bar. Okay, that's the bar that everything is determined upon. So once that comes into play, it can either be some off a news event. At the close of that day, the earnings are reported. You think, okay, so all the requirements are met. I should buy or sell this. It could be off some indicators or it could be off the full moon. It makes no difference. But when all the requirements come into play, that's your setup bar. So what you want to do is you want to measure the range of that setup bar from top to bottom, however amount of points that is. If you're looking at an intraday chart, it could be 20 cents. If you're looking at a weekly chart, it could be perhaps $20, all right, 20 points. Just measure from extreme high to extreme low. Now, for some reason, people think the range means from open to close. I don't know how we ever got to that point where that's the way we define range. Range means from the top of the wick, or the top of the bar to the bottom. That's what range is. So you want to measure that range, however amount of points, however amount of pips, whatever you're trading, you want to measure that, all right? And then adding, subtracting that range to the top or bottom of the setup bar equals a 200% exit level. So if you're long, whatever amount of points that is, you want to add it to the top of that bar. That's your 200% exit level. Now, if you're short, you want to subtract that from the bottom, and that's your 200% exit level. Now, adding, subtracting that range again one more time will give you a 300% exit level. So these are the different preliminary exit levels that you will be applying for this particular technique. There's subtraction and addition you have to do. Many people like to do this prior to the trade. Other people like to do it while they're in the trade. So we'll take some work on your part. That's part of the process. Let me show you what we mean here. Let's say this is your setup bar, whatever it's determined on. Say it's determined on the tides of the ocean. It makes no difference. This is where all the requirements come into play. So you're deciding you're going to buy. What you first want to do is measure the range from top to bottom. Extreme high to extreme low. Remember, range is not open to close. I don't know why people think that's range. One of the most common questions I get. Range is from the extreme high to the extreme low. If you're looking at candlesticks, that's the top of the wick to the bottom of the wick. This equals 100%. So if you're long, you simply want to double that, and that will give you your 200% range extension. And if you want to increase that level, you simply add the range again. That will give you your 300%. Now, as we see the trade unfold, you could take a portion of your exit of your profits right here. You could take the final portion. You could wait till get to the 200% and move your stop wherever it is to unchanged. That way, if it falls out of bed and runs out of gas, at least you don't lose anything, and then sell everything at the 300. We're going to use this same technique if we're selling. Let's say we get a short signal based off this bar. Let's say it's based off fundamental news, and now it's time to exit. Well, you want to measure the range extension from top to bottom. That will equal 100%. And if you're short, you simply subtract that from the bottom of this bar. That gives you your first exit level at 200%, exit level number 1. If you want to go for more, you subtract the same amount of points one more time, and that will give you your next one. So you see there is some addition, some work on your part to get this process done. Okay, especially if you're day trading, it can be a little bit cumbersome. As you can see, we go right to those levels. The beauty of this is that now all of these calculations are one click away. In less than a second, you can find out what these levels are with our new feature on our PTS Primo chart. I developed this with Pro Trader Strategies with programmers, and so all you have to do is click on the range extension levels and they automatically appear. So we take all the hard work out for you. Now you've just learned how to apply this technique. Once again, you can do this on your own. You can apply this and you can use the different ways to use this feature to exit or enter. But please remember that this is just something that is so easy on our platform that we take the work out. Even though you understand the process, please remember that we've done that work for you. So let's look at some range extension exit examples using our feature on our platform, and we'll show you how we can apply this with one of our best strategies. This is the dynamic duo. This is the combination of strategy number 4 along with our PET-D short-term trend confirmation tool, which colors the bars either green or red. You've heard me speak about both in past webinars. We're not really going to go into the details of strategy 4. We're not even going to go into the details of the PET-D. We're just going to show you how you can apply this exit technique using that dynamic duo strategy combo. All right, so we're looking here at PG. All right, remember we showed this in the beginning of the presentation. Now, a buy signal was generated right here on this bar. According to all the rules of the strategy, all the requirements are met. When we trade the dynamic duo, we want to confirm that buy setup bar with a green bar. So we click on the PET-D tab right here in the upper green strategy tab, and it automatically changes the colors. And we can see it was confirmed. The outline of the bar is green. So this is a trade we want to buy. At the close of the bar, we could have bought. We could wait for the next day. But either way, we should be buying this stock. That's what these strategies are telling us. So let's say we bought it. Where are we going to exit? Well, once again, since we're trading strategy 4, all you have to do is click on strategy 4. The drop-down menu will appear, and you get all these different indications. Let's choose the range extension feature. Once you click that on, in less than a second, you'll see where exit level number 1 is and exit level number 2 is. That's how simple it is. So you'll see and you'll know in advance what you're working with using this exit feature. All right. So as the trade unfolds, we see here that we reached exit level number 1 in just 2 days. Now, here's what we suggest to our traders. We always suggest to be conservative in the beginning. So when you get to exit level number 1, the best thing is always wherever your stop was, down here or even lower, to move it to where you got long. So let's say you got long right here at the end of the day. That's where you want to place your stop, either mental or just a working stop, just to know that if this runs out of gas and starts to head lower, at least you don't lose anything. All right. A lot of other students still like to use this and sell a portion of their position. Say you have 200 shares. Well, you'll sell the first 100 right here and then move the stop to unchanged for the remaining 100. And then when you get to level 2, well, that's where you'll sell your remaining position. Still, a lot of traders will say, well, no, I'll just use this as a stop placement and sell everything at exit 2. Now, if you're the type of trader that likes to get in and out quickly, you don't care about your risk-reward ratio, and you just want to get in and out and take quick profits and trade a lot, then we would suggest using exit level number 1. If you're the type of trader that likes at least a 2, maybe even 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio, then you would obviously use exit number 2. So it falls into play. There are lots of different ways to use these. And once again, all the hard work is out for you because you just have to click on and they automatically appear. Now, one of the best things we've noticed, it's not guaranteed, but oftentimes when you get up to level 2, the trend will dissipate and start to run out of gas. So this is a great way to determine at least where you want to start thinking about getting out if you're not going to use it as an actual exit point. Let's look at an example to the downside in OI. All right, strategy number 4 generated a sell signal here according to the proprietary rules. All right, we're trading the dynamic duo. That means we want to confirm it with a red bar because the PET D colors bars green for up, red for down. So we click on the PET D tab right here, and guess what? It colors it red. So that's a confirmation that this is a high probability sell trade. All right, doesn't guarantee it, but it's a high probability. Now that we know that we're in this trade, either we buy the puts or we sell short, or we even use it as a way to determine what the markets are going to do, we want to find out where we would exit this short trade. So we click on strategy number 4, drop-down menu appears, click on range extension, exits, and guess what? Automatically you see where you could get out with level number 1 or level number 2. And if it meets your standards, then you can either get into the trade or you can adjust accordingly how you're going to trade this. Remember, our goal is to educate you. We're not telling you how to trade. We're not saying you have to get out at exit level 1 or exit level 2. We're giving you the variables, the options. It's been my experience in 41 years of trading that the only way you will become a consistent trader is if you take charge of the range yourself, if you make your decisions. If you don't go to a chat room, if you don't listen to what some guy says on TV, but if you make the decision yourself, you will have a better chance of trading 5, 10, 20, 30 years down the road as opposed to relying on someone or something else to tell you what to do. That's my opinion. So with that opinion said, I developed all these different techniques and things to teach you with Pro Trader Strategy so that you can be in charge of your own trading. So when the exit levels appear, they're not telling you where to get out. They're giving you different options. So if you've ever wondered where to get out, these are some great options for you to take. So let's say you went short OI. Guess what? In 2 or 3 weeks, we reached exit level number 1. So once again, you could have simply, if your stop was somewhere up here, moved it to where you got short and said, well, you know what? I still think it's going lower down to level number 2. So at least if it goes back up, I'm just going to break even. Or you could have said, you know what? I covered a portion of my short here. Maybe I shorted, or I should say I purchased 2 puts. Well, I exited 1 here, and I still have 1 put left. And in another month or so, there was your second put that was met that you could have exited. And as you can see, it started to head upwards. Let's look at FISV. This was just a month ago in August, about a month ago. A buy signal was generated. It's colored green by the PET D, so all systems are go. We have bought the stock, but where do we get out? Well, we click on strategy number 4 drop-down menu, click on range extensions, and we automatically know level 1 and level 2. And as you can see, both were met within the next week. So this is how simple it is. And as you can see, we get up to level 2, and all of a sudden, the stock starts to have a little trouble getting past that. Let's look at another short example in ALL. This was in May. As you can see, we had a sell signal, and it was confirmed by the PET D. The PET D colored it red, so we have a high probability that this stock is going lower. Even though people will say, well, look at this bottom made, Steve. This was made by the institutions buying. There was some great news here about the earnings, and the institutions just started buying this, so I don't know why I would want to sell this. Remember, if I rely on the institutions or some $10,000 class I took about support and resistance, or if I rely on what some guy is saying in a chat room or on TV, it's my opinion that most likely you're going to fail because you've taken yourself out of the game. You're letting other people make your decisions for you. You've got to be in charge of your trading. The reason why most people aren't in charge of their trading is because they don't know what to do. They haven't been supplied with the proper education. Well, that's our goal at Specialist Trading and Pro Trader Strategies, to supply you with that education so that you can have a list of different variables that have high levels of consistency and then make your own decision. So once you know these things, you would have said, okay, well, here are my 2 options for exiting if I want to use this particular technique. And if you decided to take them, well, you could have exited at level number 1, covered your short, or covered your short here at exit level number 2. Now, I know a lot of you are saying, well, Steve, this is great, but I don't trade stocks. You know, I'm an intraday trader. I trade futures. I trade currency pairs. No problem. All of the techniques and tips we have and educate you can be applied to any market and any time frame. So don't worry if you trade a different market, different time frame, if you like to trade tick charts, if you like to trade monthly bars. It makes no difference. Everything can be applied. Let's look at an hour chart of the E-mini, okay? This was just a couple of weeks ago in mid-August, mid to end August. A buy signal was generated here, all right, telling us that strategy 4 generated a buy signal. We apply the PET D, and guess what? The bar is outlined green, so the PET D is telling us this is a high probability signal to take. So if we're going to take this signal, where do we want to get out? All you have to do is click on strategy 4, click on range extension exits, and you know in 2 seconds where exit level 1 would be and exit level 2. It's that simple. If it meets your requirements, then all you have to do is decide if you want to exit at level number 1. And remember, if you're a quick type of trader that likes to get in and out, I know a lot of intraday traders are like that, then feel free to use exit level number 1. But if you want to get the most bang for your buck, go for exit level number 2. And look what happened when you reached exit level number 2. See how the trend changed there? How about the Canadian dollar? Here's another example of a strategy number 4 buy signal. It's confirmed by the PET D, colored green. Since this is a currency pair, it makes no difference. All of the same things can apply. We apply the 2 different exit levels, and exit level number 1 was reached in 2 weeks. Number 2 was reached about a week later. So you would have had a nice little profit there in about a month. This was in June coming into July, and then look what happened. So let's recap before we go to questions and answers, all right? Remember, in order to calculate range extension exit levels, you can do this on your own. Measure the range of the setup bar. This is the bar where all the rules come into play, where all the requirements have been met, and you decide whether you're going to actually buy or sell the stock, the future, the currency pair. So you want to measure the range, and the range is not open to close. That's not what range is. The range is the top of the bar, extreme high to the extreme low. So however amount of points that is, however amount of pips that is, measure that. And then if you're long, okay, by adding that same amount of range to the top of that bar, you will get the 200% exit level. If you're short, by subtracting that same amount of range from the setup bar, you will get the 200% exit level. If you want to go for more, then you simply do it again, and that will give you the 300% exit levels for either going long or short. It's that simple. It takes a little practice. It's not very difficult. You can simply measure it. The only trouble is if you are doing this real time and you're trading intraday, or you don't have time to really do a lot of this calculation, it will take a little bit more study and practice on your own to make sure you're able to do it quickly. So as we go towards the end here, I want you to ask yourself before you ask me questions, do you think this tool could have helped your trading this past year? Ask yourself honestly. We're coming towards the end of the year. Wouldn't you have liked to have had this tool this last year when I can almost guarantee you that many of you had trades where you were having a profit during the year and you're thinking, boy, this is great. And many of them turned sour and then that profit turned into a loss, right? Wouldn't you have liked to have this tool where you know exactly where the different exit levels were to get out? Well, because you attended on this Saturday morning, you took time out, we have a special offer for you today where you're going to be able to apply this tool. We're going to offer you a great discount on the PTS Primo charts, which has this range extension level tool on it. We're going to give you a great discount. In fact, it's an amazing discount. We're only going to charge you $7 for a 30-day trial. That's it. You're going to be able to use all the available features on the platform, including the range extensions, for only $7. Let me show you what's included in that. Obviously, you're going to get the proprietary entry, exit, and trending tools. Now, we just shared with you the exit tool. That's one of the tools here. We also have an entries tools, and we have a lot of other proprietary things that are on the platform that you can't get anywhere else. We also have our enhanced buy-sell line that you can't find anywhere else. This is a great tool for telling you the overall trend, okay? So if you want to know whether you should be buying or selling, you simply click on Buy-Sell tab, and it will give you 4 different options of features in which to look for this. And it's extremely simple, powerful. We also have the top bottom 25% feature. This tells you which bars close in the top or bottom 25% of their range. You can use these for entry bars, for setup bars, and you can also use them for short-term trend identifiers. This also comes with the signal scanner. I'm very proud of this. I developed this with Pro Trader Strategies. We put a lot of work in it. And mainly the work we put into it was to make it simple. I have tried trust me, I've tried just about every platform you can think of. And one of my pet peeves is trying to get a scanner to work quickly and easily. You know, when you're looking through thousands of stocks, maybe on a nightly basis, you don't want to take an hour or two to figure out how to use the scanner or to look at for a certain technique. Most of our scans can take less than a minute. You can scan the S&P, you can scan the NASDAQ, Bitcoin, futures, currency pairs. You can even make up your own list of what to scan for on a nightly basis, and you'll have your results in less than a minute. It's a great, great way to scan on a nightly basis. This also comes with over 90 of the most prominent technical indicators, but we realize we do have a technical bias, and we don't want to, phase anyone out that's not a total technician. So if you like to look at fundamental news, remember, it's not our goal and our job to tell you how to trade. It's our goal to share with you things that have worked for us. But if you're interested in fundamental news and in, fundamental information that is happening right to the minute, we are giving you free Bloomberg TV. This is on our platform. You click on our media icon, and you immediately get a live open page, a window of Bloomberg TV with all the economic reports, fundamental news, earnings reports live as they're happening. So that's included as well. Lastly, this comes with great personalized tech support. We've had rave reviews about our tech support where people have had issues looking at our tutorials, or they weren't sure how to apply them or put them together. They also had trouble actually getting the platform to work because they weren't familiar with it. Our tech support is there in seconds to resolve the issues for you so that you fully can get the best use out of it, okay? This is a great offer. You're getting 41 years of information for 30 days for $7, okay? This is a great way to get acquainted with us if you're new with our information and techniques. It's a great way to come on board, and we're trying to share this with you in good faith to show that we're not here to sell you some $10,000 system without really giving you any information, just showing you all the winners. We don't believe in that. We're here to supply you with education, things that have worked for me in the past, things that I still use on a daily basis, so that hopefully we can elevate your trading so that you can be trading some 41 years down the road as well. So here's how to take advantage of this great offer. Contact my sister site, Pro Trader Strategies. I developed the platform with them. You can either email them. I would suggest if you have difficulty logging on to the link below, or if you're having questions about the platform or would like to get more information, you can call them directly at area code 310-598-6677. Now that link you see at the very bottom will take you to the $7 sign up page, and you can automatically be up and running in a matter of minutes. But if you would rather look at a live link, see, you're going to have to copy and paste that. If you want a live link, you'll see that the chat box on the far right has a live link, and you can automatically just click that on. Okay, I'm going to leave this information up here. If you have any questions, remember I told you I'd reserve the end of this presentation for any questions. And so if you have any questions, feel free to write them now in the question and answer box. I see we have a few of them. Let's see, I arrived late. Will I get a recording? Yes, everyone will get a link to this recording. The only thing I would really suggest is that you do not sit on this recording. We've had students in the past say, well, I got the recording, but I didn't have time. I watched it like a week later, and then I was really convinced. Well, sometimes if you wait a week, the $7 offer is gone. Last time we talked about strategy number 4, which was a totally different discount, a totally different price. So if you're waiting for that $7 offer and you forget to watch the recording and then you finally do watch it, well, guess what? It may not be offered anymore. This is for a short time only. So, I would not sit on the recordings for a while. And you're always free to ask questions. You can contact Pro Trader Strategies and call them. There's no obligation required. People are saying, is this, I'm not very computer savvy. Will I have help in setting this up? Yes, you do. We have a great tech support system, as I said. They help you upload and put all the information on your computer. It usually takes less than 15, 20 minutes. And then there are tutorial pages on the platform. Tons of videos that I've put together, as well as tech support, so you can figure out how to use all the different features and applications. It's really great. And you can start using it right away, using these tools, which I've shared with you, okay? Question, from where is the data used in the scanner? Well, you have a different lists of what you can scan for. We have lists that we give you in terms of indices. You can scan the S&P, the NASDAQ. You can also scan for the Dow Jones Industrial. You can scan for Bitcoin. You can scan for ETFs, futures, also currency pairs. And if you want to make up your own list of stocks or markets to follow, you can contact the tech support and they will tell you how to do that. And you can have your own basket of what you look for in a nightly scenario, so you don't have to be looking at markets that you're not interested in. So we make it really simple and easy for you. And as I stated, my pet peeve is having things overcomplicated and having so much information that you're just so bogged down, you have no idea what to do. Almost, I would say 80% of all of our techniques are one click away. All you have to do is click on whatever you're interested in. The drop-down menu appears, and you'll see an option for arrows. You'll see an option for the indicator that's included. You'll see an option for a scan. It's all right there, and then you can all just do it on yourself. It's so simple and so easy. You don't have to open a window, which opens another window, which goes somewhere else, and then find out how to do this. That's silly, and that's too complicated. We make it really simple so that you can learn how to do it in a matter of minutes, okay? Okay, no more questions. I just want to thank you all for attending today. I hope you got some information, something new that you've learned today. Remember, you can apply these exit levels on your own. You can use the formula I gave you, and you can figure out how to do it. But why would you want to do that if it's just one click away? Now, remember, we're not here to tell you how to trade. So we teach you everything. So everything behind every strategy or method is taught to you. The only thing that we have done is made it simple in its implication so that you don't have to do the process of adding and subtracting. We do it for you, but you still know what is behind that process. We believe in that. We don't want to make anything a black box system. We want you to understand why you're doing something. That's how you will become a consistent trader. Okay, so as we leave here today, I just want to say thanks for attending. And remember, give Pro Trader Strategies a call. Get that $7 offer while it lasts. That's the link below. If you're having trouble, remember the live link is in the chat box on the far right-hand corner. And I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your Saturday. Thanks for attending today. As you take one last look at our disclaimer, I really wish you the best of luck. I hope these exit levels help you, and I look forward to all of you becoming students of mine at Specialist Trading and the Pro Trader Strategies PTS Primo Charting platform. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.